On March 31st, 2023, the Twitter recommendation source code was released. And this wasn't just a casual release, it was prompted by a leak of the source code online. But for the first time in history, a major social media platform has released its core algorithm, the very essence of how it operates. And Twitter tracks everything you do. The tweets you're interested in, who you follow, who the people that you're following follow, how many likes a tweet gets, whether the tweet has an image or a video, how many retweets, how many replies, have you muted the person, have you blocked the person, are you paying for Twitter Blue? And now, we finally get the opportunity to see the inner workings of a social media algorithm, and it's pretty cool. So let's take a look. There are roughly 500 million tweets posted daily. However, you only see a handful of these tweets on your feed. And the tweets you see are tailored just for you. The tweets may contain topics that interest you or belong to a person that you're interested in. And this is done for one reason why, so you can continuously engage with the app. So how does Twitter choose the tweets that end up on your home feed? The algorithm is made up of 3 different stages. The first stage is where it fetches relevant tweets, from 500 million tweets all the way down to 1,500. The second stage is where it ranks each of those 1,500 selected tweets. The third stage, this is where the algorithm filters or removes tweets based on whether you've blocked or muted the person, or you've seen the tweet and many other characteristics. Finally, once tweets go through the third stage of the algorithm, the tweets that pass that will be on your home feed. We know in the first stage, Twitter needs to figure out how it goes from 500 million tweets all the way down to 1,500 tweets. So how do they do this? Well, they have 2 different sources to do this. The first one is in-network, and the second one is out-of-network. In-network means the people you follow and interact with. Out-of-network means finding tweets from outside of your network. But they don't want to feed any random tweet to you. They want to make sure that the tweet is still relevant to you even though you may not know the author. Now there's 2 ways to do this. The first way is through social graph. This represents 15% of your timeline. And this is where there are 2 questions being asked. The first question is, what tweets do the people I follow recently engage with? And the second question is, who likes similar tweets to me and what else have they liked? So if I reply to a tweet from John and John gets a reply from someone else, I will see that reply. And the second way to get out of network tweets is through embedding spaces. Embedding spaces answer the question, what tweets and users have similar likes and interests to me? It's almost like a group or community that you belong to. So Twitter keeps track of what you like, what you engage with, and your interests, and uses that to classify you into a community or group. In the source code, you'll see the word sim clusters pop up a lot. And sim clusters discover and create communities that are based by a group of influential users. So the Twitter engineering blog actually details this quite nice. A good example here is Selena, J-Lo, Justin Timberlake all belong to the space or group called Pop, and that Pop group has millions of users. So if a tweet does well in the Pop circle and maybe you follow people in Pop or you're interested in Pop, you will probably see that tweet. And if you like it and you show some sort of interaction with it, you'll see more. If you don't really like it and you don't really interact with it, you'll see less. So that's how Twitter picks up the 1,500 tweets from 500 million in their pool. It's tweets from people in your network and some tweets from people out of your network. Now with 1,500, you still aren't able to see all in your home feed. So there needs to be more filtering. We need to decide what tweets out of those 1,500 are the most important. This is where ranking comes in, and it's a pretty cool algorithm. So Twitter essentially goes through each tweet and actually gives points to each tweet based on certain characteristics and factors that are favorable. Twitter calls this a boost. Here's some examples. Does the user interact with the author a lot? So an example is that if you like tweets from your mates previously, well, their tweets will get a boost factor of 2. How much interest does the user have in this content? If you've engaged in a specific type of content and a tweet comes up with similar content, the tweet will get a boost of 3. Does a tweet have likes? So every time you get a like on your tweet, the tweet gets boosted by 30, a retweet gets 20, and a reply only gets 1. Does a tweet have images and videos? If it does, your tweet gets boosted by 2. And then Twitter Blue actually does give you an extended reach. If you see a tweet from a Twitter Blue follower and it's in your network, it gets a boost of 4. If you see a tweet from a Twitter Blue follower and it is out of your network, it gets a boost of 2. So what this means is that likes and retweets matter the most, with a 30 and 20x boost, and the other factors like showing interest in the same content gives you a 3x boost, interacting with the author of the tweet previously gets you a 2x boost, etc. So now that we have the ranked tweets, we still need to filter tweets that don't make the cut. This is the last stage. So once the tweets are ranked, we now go through filtering for negative characteristics. So are there any characteristics that the tweet has that actually negatively impacts a user? This can be something like, if you've blocked or muted someone, the tweet might get filtered. If you see too many out-of-network tweets, so if you have a timeline where there is a lot of tweets from people or authors that you don't know, the tweet may be removed. Has a viewer provided any negative feedback to the tweet? Are there too many hashtags on the tweet? It will also get removed. Too many hashtags probably represent spam. Posting outside your niche also seems to hurt. Misinformation is also downranked apparently, as well as mentioning Ukraine, although this has still yet to be confirmed. And now, once the last stage of filtering occurs, you are left with a handful of tweets, and these tweets are the ones that show up on your home feed. This is what you see at the end. Tweets have been specifically selected for you to see based on your interactions and behavior on the platform. And that's the code. It's pretty decent. I find this super interesting. I'm a data specialist, but I think as a general social media user, it's really important for you to know how information is fed to you.